Northwest Arkansas just got ranked again as one of the top performing cities, large cities in America. Today we're covering all the details and other what cities perform better than us. So let's talk about that. Hey everybody, if you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. If you weren't aware, I actually was a real estate broker located in the dumpster fire, the horrible, the no good, terrible state also known as Illinois or Chicago. The worst. Anyways, I decided to move to the best place to live in America. And across all social research and many other places in America, Northwest Arkansas is by far the best place to live in America, by far. If you ever want to talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America, call me, let's meet up for coffee, text me, email me, whatever the case is, we can sit down and talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America. And if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is. It's literally a starter pack full of all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What are the schools like? What are the hospitals like? All the things you need to know about Northwest Arkansas. Boop, 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 boop. All the cool things to do here. Boop, 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 boop. Package, ship right to your home. Literally package, ship right to your home. Enter your name below. Enter your address below. Where am I shipping this package to? Let me know with all the information below and make sure they get that package shipped to you right away. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite four-letter F word. Free! So enter your information below and make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. Alright, so the first thing, let's go ahead and do that is let's talk about briefly, real briefly, about some of the other cities that ranked better than Northwest Arkansas, and then we'll jump into the reasons why Northwest Arkansas ranked number 7 out of all large cities in America, and you'll understand here in a second. So the first one ranked as large city, like the top one, is actually number 2 last year. It actually gained one, was Austin, Texas. I've mentioned these in my videos before. These are all cities that I've looked at, and I've done a lot of videos on why I chose not to move at these cities specifically, and why I chose Northwest Arkansas. Raleigh, North Carolina was also on my list. It was ranked number 2. And then we have Boise, Idaho was also on my list. I didn't want to deal with the cold, didn't want to deal with a lot of other things going on in Boise. All the, we'll say, different people from different states moving there. Got expensive very fast. Salt Lake City and Provo both jumped huge in this year. They actually plummeted 2 years ago because of the huge tech layoff, and then they bounced back this year. So I kind of ranked them in the same there. Nashville's up there, and right below Nashville is Fayetteville, Arkansas. So the whole area right there. So let's jump into some of the reasons why they actually in this. I'll actually link this all below. It's a 62 pages. It's just a long document of data, of more data. Altogether of why, not the whole thing, but let's talk about why Fayetteville ranked so high and why Northwest Arkansas ranked so high. But if you want to read the whole thing, it's all linked below as well. So let's jump into some of those details right now. All right, and the first reason why Northwest Arkansas keeps ranking so high in all these, even comparison to large cities, is of some of these core strengths that it really banks heavy on. And the strengths are, when this article mentions all of them, is affordable housing, really high paying jobs for the area, for comparison to the state in general. And on top of that, just rapid growth. Now, what I mean by that, it's hard. Now, think about this. It's hard to have really high growth, keep wages high, and also keep housing affordable. And Northwest Arkansas has done that, and you could argue it's done it very well, because a lot of times, in comparison to Austin and other places that have grown rapidly, they did not do the thing. They could have the high paying jobs, but you really can't afford a house in Austin, and then you really can't enjoy the outdoors. And there's other places in America, and I'm sure you can label a lot of these, and some of them do exist in the top, like Raleigh, North Carolina. Really great paying jobs, housing's unaffordable. Even in Boise, it's like it got very expensive, because it's like you can't live in Boise anymore because it's just too expensive. Good paying jobs, can't live out, you can't afford a house necessarily, and the outdoors kind of gets convoluted because all these houses kind of take its space. Northwest Arkansas is a lot of bit different, is the fact that we have a huge trail system, 450-mile trail system built into the city that's going nowhere, and trail systems expanding past that over into Centerton, more into Bella Vista, eventually I'm sure Pea Ridge, over into Farmington, Prairie Grove. All the different adjacent cities will be getting their own trail systems here in the foreseeable future. And you just don't see those kind of things happening in the larger areas. You don't see land being acquired and then given over to organizations like the NWA Land Trust. You have organizations that are actually solidifying that gravel roads will never be built on or paved anywhere in Northwest Arkansas, and that's just due to the bike scene here in the area. So those things just don't exist in those areas because they're willing to sacrifice growth and other things versus just like actual healthy growth. But regardless, I digress. Some of the core strengths still exist in Northwest Arkansas. Is just really good job growth and sustained rapid growth, really good job actual salaries, and on top of that, affordable housing. And on top of that, outdoor space, livable space. You just don't get all those key ingredients in a lot of those other cities on this list. And before we jump on to the next point, I have something brand new called Instant Home Updates. So maybe you're looking to move to the area and using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications? Way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds exactly what it is, the Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below: name, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. Where do you want to move to Northwest Arkansas? Let me know with all the information below. I'll make sure to miss a single notification when it comes for homes for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, every single Friday, I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Rogers? What new businesses are moving here? What's going on in the amphitheater? What's going on over to Walton Arts? What's going on in Fayetteville? So much going on all the time. All the time. Enter your name below. Enter your email below. I'll make sure you get that email every single Friday. But sadly, side note, you will get a little fear of missing out, little FOMO, so to speak. But I promise you will be the most important person eventually when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. And the second thing we need to talk about why Northwest Arkansas keeps ranking up in comparison to larger cities in America, why it keeps doing so much better. And this is actually more of a actual answer to the other cities than Northwest Arkansas. And the other thing is, like, why does it keep going up in rank? And Northwest Arkansas is just keeping the path that it keeps on going. It's going to keep building trail systems. It's going to keep bringing businesses here. It's going to keep building businesses. It's going to keep being innovative. It's going to keep thinking outside the box. It's going to make sure that its spaces that they're designing are good and obviously for consumers and communities, etc. So they're going to keep doing the path that they've committed to do with the council and all the other cities. And it's showing results, but I say that all to say is that other cities, the reason it keeps ranking up is because other cities keep falling off the map. You start seeing in other places like Huntsville, Alabama, and other places that have been up in the ranking system just start crawling down. That's just because they haven't stayed the vision, and so they're maybe not innovative enough. Whatever the case is, Northwest Arkansas has this really unique, special seasoning of recipe to keep ranking up and keep doing better what it's doing. And in the same breath, other cities haven't had, whether it's leadership or whether it's the amount of money being poured into the system, whether it's the big businesses, whatever the case is, there's a couple special magical things happen in Northwest Arkansas, and I talked about them a lot in these videos of why it keeps ranking up versus shrinking in general. So that makes it a very unique area, is that even if we stayed the course forever, we're eventually going to keep ranking up because other cities seems as though that it's hard for them to keep the path and they keep falling down, which makes us go even better. So yay. And the third reason why Northwest Arkansas keeps ranking higher against larger cities in America as like some of the best performing cities. And this actually, let's talk briefly about why it actually is kind of what its weaknesses are. And in this article, and it is true, this article mentions about its tech sector and its diversity in tech sector. Now, I know that to be true because, for instance, if you go to Austin, if you go to San Fran, if you go to Charleston, if you go to Boise, if you go to Salt Lake City, Provo, there's a variety of tech jobs in that area, whether it's just a myriad of tech jobs. In Northwest Arkansas specifically, the reason that it kind of actually hurt itself a little bit is I would say the narrow window of tech in the area. Now, there's a lot of tech jobs here, don't get me wrong, a lot of tech jobs. I've had videos just strictly on that. There's a lot of technology jobs here, but the reason being is they call it so specific and not diverse is because the three big companies here all fall within, I would consider, non-glamorous roles. For instance, Facebook has a huge office in Austin. That's obviously social media. They have ads. They have all sorts of different things going on Facebook. Then you have Tesla, EV manufacturer. We all know that. That's Austin. San Francisco, all the tech startups there, and that's a variety from fintech all the way to social media, all the way down to Uber to variety. In Northwest Arkansas, we have I would consider very economically safe positions. Walmart, they always do better in economic crises because people flock to the lowest price so they usually do better, and all the vendors connected to them. JB Hunt, huge when it comes to transportation and logistics, so not the thing that's going to make like TechCrunch and articles. And on top of that, we have Tyson, one of the biggest food, if not the biggest food manufacturer producer in the world. Not going to make like, you know, you want to work at Tyson, but the core thing of Northwest Arkansas, and this is why it's a very interesting combination, is that we may not have the most consumer facing, like, this is exciting tech jobs, but when things go bad, they really don't go bad here because we're in this interesting bubble that the things that people have to purchase all the time, Walmart, goods, all the services there, transportation, logistics, food, they are, I would consider, recession proof in a lot of fashion. We know we're not doing layoffs here because of all the issues with technology. So when tech comes here, it usually stays here because the actual things they're attached with are just like recession proof companies, big companies, some of the biggest in the world. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you are thinking about coming down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itineraries linked below. Maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're sightseeing, maybe you have kids, whatever it is, whatever it is, there's 3-day itineraries linked down below for you, so go ahead and download them, use them to get down here. Also, when you do come down here, I can give you the $10 tour so I can kind of show you around the whole area. Plus, we can check out some home for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys, let's see you next one.